Okay, so this is currently, we're going to talk about 0xChan. This is currently one of the greatest revolutions to hit the P3D ecosystem, and I think probably to hit the blockchain period. At least I love the direction that it's going for so many reasons. So I'm going to start this video off with a quick 10-second recap of what P3D is, and then we're going to talk about this newest development, 0xChan. This is so incredible. So buckle up, stay tuned, grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to take notes on this one, boys and girls. So quickly, Proof of Weak Hands 3D, or P3D as it's oftentimes called. What is this? It's a simple ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain. All that means is you need Ethereum in a wallet to purchase it. You come to their website, you click here on Decentralized Exchange, and you're able to purchase it on the decentralized exchange. To purchase P3D, it's a 10% fee in, 10% fee out. That fee gets distributed to all other token holders directly proportional to the amount of tokens that they hold. So it creates a bit of a dividend. You're paid in Ethereum. So this thing kicks off Ethereum. And you're not, the way it works is it's only on people buying and selling and transferring, buying, selling, and transferring the token. There's a 10% fee. But instead of a centralized exchange like Binance getting the fee, the individual community, basically, the fee goes back to the community. It's incredibly interesting. It's a fascinating concept for the blockchain period. However, this is the greatest community that exists in the ecosystem. I'm certain of it. And part of the reason is because of the community's passion, what they believe in, what they represent, and the development. When you have community members start taking on development, then you've got something extraordinary. I've covered the decentralized website, which is various dApps created by the community. But this right here is extraordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to 0xChan. The website, by the way, is 0xChan. That's not O, it's 0. As in every Ethereum address begins with 0x. 0xChan. Your conversations immutable and decentralized. First of all, I love this for several reasons, and we're going to get into what this is in a moment, but let me just tell you what is so extraordinary. This officially launches basically, I think, in 12 days here. This is the white paper. This is the Discord. You can check it out. You can read it. The white paper. White papers can be technical. This one's pretty straightforward, but we're going to cover it here in a moment. Let me just tell you what I love about this. I have been waiting for someone to get to the place where what I want to see on the blockchain is something like Signal. Signal is a messaging service or a messaging app that you can use on your phone. They also have a desktop version. And Signal is designed to be totally anonymous and is great. The problem with Signal is you have to trust the centralized company Signal, and they currently seem to be trustworthy, but you have to trust that they do what they're saying they're doing with your data, and that is they're not keeping it and they're not storing it. On the blockchain, if there was a way to be able to create a full app where you could literally message, like a desktop messenger or a cell phone messenger, you could message back and forth on your phone, and then it could totally be, encrypted, encoded, decentralized in some way, so it couldn't be tracked. I mean, I just think that's a real world type use case for blockchain technology, and 0xChan is definitely moving in that direction. This is extraordinary, and this comes from developers, community members, not the main developers, but community members that are a part of the P3D ecosystem. So let's get into what it is. So this is hosted on the P3D wiki page. Someone put this up, and I do not know the name of the contributor who put this up. Let me see if his name's down here. I feel bad that I don't know his name. I don't see it. Okay. We're going to cover part of this. We're not going to cover all of it, but we'll cover part of it. 0xChan is a decentralized and immutable message board system on the Ethereum blockchain where users can post messages and media files. I thought this was incredible. You can put media files here as well. Storage of these messages is handled via a distributed file system, and an Ethereum smart contract is used to store a ledger of all messages. An Ethereum staking mechanism ensures quality content and protects the system against spam while also incentivizing users to stake their Ether. The immutable and decentralized nature of the system allows for free speech and gives way to create truly censorship-resistant and self-sustaining platforms. This is the wave of the future here. Censorship resistant and self-sustaining platforms. Let's talk about this for a moment. So in the past, Facebook has been censored, especially in places like Iraq, where people were reporting on various uprisings and I want to say strikes, but I don't mean strikes. Like people were organizing against the government, and people were commenting and communicating on things like Facebook and Skype. And those companies actually ended up, because at the whim of the government in Iraq and places like that, they actually have censored people in the past and prevented certain accounts from posting. Well, I think we can all agree that's a pretty good reason to allow posting and, people communicating, groups of people being able to communicate together. When you have something like a blockchain, no government can stop that. You're talking about a tool that freedom fighters can use among average citizens as well, being able to use it and not worrying about it. Did you recently hear that Facebook, in fact, let me go find this news story. Facebook allowed Netflix, Spotify, and a bank to read and delete users' private messages. The social network also allowed Microsoft's search engine Bing to see the names of nearly all users' friends without their consent, according to a report. So there you have it. Facebook gave more than 150 companies, including Microsoft, Netflix, Spotify, Amazon, and Yahoo, unprecedented access to users' personal data, according to the New York Times. Okay, so this is why decentralization is important, and Zero Chan is moving in a direction to be able to do that. No one's gonna, Netflix and Spotify were able to view people's messages. Now they since came out with a response on why they allowed it, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, there's no reason to allow it. No one should be able to have access to your private messages. Of course, you should know if you're using Facebook, you don't have privacy. That's really the bottom line, unfortunately. However, Zero Chan is moving in the right direction to help give privacy and freedom back to the individual blockchain user. Zero Chan is not live yet, but the high-level details of the platform are explained below. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some things that cause me concern about Zero Chan. If you watch my channel, you know that I oftentimes discuss both sides of the coin, so to speak. It's kind of what I'm known for. I can love a project and still see potential issues with the project that I want to get resolved. And I can always tell which people comment on my post without watching the video, because they typically just go off my title and they don't watch the video. Don't ever be that person, because you kind of look, if you're one of my regular viewers, you can always tell who's, kind of being a moron in the comments. All right, so overview. Like many other dApps, Zero Chan consists of a website front end that interacts with a smart contract. The contract serves as a decentralized ledger to write to and read from, while files and media are stored on the decentralized IPFS network. The smart contract and the storage is decentralized, the website is not. However, users will be able to clone or fork the website repository and set up an interface either locally or on their computer or deployed for others to be able to use. Users could also send messages directly to the smart contract through the use of tools like MyEtherWallet or Etherscan. There's no way to restrict a user from sending messages to this contract. The messages sent to the system are similar to message board posts with a subject line, the full message, and optional file attachments. This allows users to freely express their thoughts, discuss various topics, and engage with ongoing discussions or start new ones. All of this happens free from censorship by government or other authorities. And here they show you kind of the simple schematic of how it would work. IPFS, I did not know what this is, by the way. IPFS, or the Interplanetary File System, is a self-described peer-to-peer hypermedia protocol to make the web faster, safer, and more open. It relies on users operating so-called nodes to distribute server load and content storage across multiple machines with a certain level of redundancy. Users can interact with IPFS either through the use of a command line interface, desktop, or a mobile application, or by using web interfaces. You can learn more about IPFS in the IPFS white paper. By the way, I'll put this hosted wiki so you can go through it yourself, and you can look at this white paper. I'll put this link down in the description. Usage mechanics. Users can either browse Zero Chan and just read the conversations, or actively participate in them by posting messages. Simply browsing the dApp for content comes at no extra cost to the user, while posting a comment will invoke a small fee. This is a micro fee. This fee prevents spam bots from using Zero Chan as a dumping ground for malicious or otherwise irritating content, so users can focus on real discussions. The fee is necessary, otherwise you would get bots all over the place. Proof of stake. The requirement for each user that wants to post on Zero Chan is to have a minimum of 0.5 Ether locked in their contract. This will be used as stake and collateral at the same time. Staking requirements for sending messages with attachments is increased to 1.5 Ether. The Ether sent as stake can be withdrawn by the users anytime if they did not post in the past 24 hours. And there are no pending reports. The stake will also assign users a certain percentage in the distributed rewards system. So basically, for putting your stake up, you're able to use the platform, but at the same time, you're going to get distributed rewards from the system. So it's not like it's just stuck there for nothing. Each post sent to 0xChan costs an additional 0.0001 Ether. That's nothing, like 0.0 cents or something. It's nothing, which is distributed among all stakeholders, with 15% going to the purchase of P3D, and a 5% portion of it will stay in the contract to be used to settle expenses. This fee will make it expensive enough for people to not spam the system with useless content, but low enough for easy entry into the free discussions. Okay, I don't have any trouble with this, and being a P3D investor, proof of weekends, being an investor there, I appreciate this 15% going there. I don't fully understand the utilitarian reason for that. That doesn't have to happen. Outside the fact that the developers of this are also P3D investors, what is the reason for this? Now, maybe it's because it's given back to the community, and granted, the first people to adopt 0xChan will be community members, kind of like how HDX20 does with their games. And in that way, I can kind of see it, but I think that the average non-P3D investor wouldn't like this per se, or maybe they could care less because it's such a small amount. I don't know. I just would like to see more utilitarian reason for this. This fee should make it expensive enough for people not to spam the system with useless content, but low enough to allow for easy entry into the free discussions. Okay, we discussed that. 0chan token. The price for a message can and should be adjusted to meet market conditions. Users can also pay this fee in advance by purchasing 0chan and ERC20 token in advance. This will also increase their overall percentage in staking sharing pool. When users choose to use 0chan to pay for a post, they will only have to pay the Ethereum network fee, which is kept at the lowest minimum possible due to gas optimization processes in the smart contract. I have some concern with this. I think this is not necessary, and I think the primary reason this is done is to have an ICO. And again, I don't know. This is interesting. I think that we're moving away from a time in which tokens are created just to interact with various projects or ecosystems. And that's like the Binance coin, for example, on Binance. I think we're moving away from that, actually. But we'll see. 0xChan will continue to purchase P3D tokens from the P3D smart contract, and with each new message posted on 0xChan. As such, it will generate dividends for the P3D network and also receive those dividends just the same. The dividends collected that way can then be released by users every 3 months to give it enough time to accumulate dividends, similar to how ETHORS is handling its P3D integration. Wait a minute. Let's reread that. That might have been my question above. And by the way, I've already read through this twice, so this is my third time through. So this is interesting if I'm reading this right. 0xChan will continue to purchase P3D tokens from the P3D smart contract with each new message posted on 0xChan. As such, it will generate dividends for the P3D network and also receive those dividends just the same. The dividends collected that way can then be released by users once every 3 months to give it enough time to accumulate dividends, similar to how ETHORS, which is another project that uses P3D tokens, is handling P3D integration. So if I'm understanding this right, okay, I missed this before. This is fascinating. So if I love this. This is what the P3D token should be getting used for, stuff like this. This just makes such logical sense. I've mentioned before on my channel, imagine being able to sell to some people a product or service in P3D tokens, and then knowing that over time they get all or a portion of those dividends redistributed back to them, which means eventually over weeks, months, even years, they eventually get their purchase price back. Okay, this is blowing my mind right now. This is so incredibly awesome. Because if I'm understanding this right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, For every post you do on OXChan, yes, you pay a small amount, but that small amount is used to buy P3D tokens. Those P3D tokens earn dividends, and those dividends get distributed back to you every 3 months. And that's every 3 months forever. That's awesome. This could encourage using OXChan. You don't even have to want to be a P3D investor. Just use the OXChan message board. If they can, the hardest part is going to be able to attract attention on 0xChan. If they can attract people to start using 0xChan, this is going to become fascinating, I think. I somehow missed this. This is incredible. You can keep reading here. This is the moderation system and how they're going to moderate comments and who can moderate comments. You can go through the numbers and look at the details. Basically, though, what you want to know is you've got to pay to do moderation and stuff like that, and they've got some great checks and balances, and it helps keep the boards clean, and you can read through that. Let's look at the FAQ real quick. What is 0xChan? 0xChan is a decentralized immutable message board system on the Ethereum blockchain where users can post messages and media files. Storage of these messages is handled via IPFS, and a smart contract is used to store a ledger of all messages. A proof-of-stake style mechanism ensures quality content and protects the system against spam, while also incentivizing users to stake their Ether. The immutable and decentralized nature of the system allows for free speech and gives way to create truly censorship-resistant and self-sustaining platforms. This is incredible. When I read this up here, I was like, wow. I already understood that it was buying the P3D. I didn't realize it was redistributing the dividends to people who were posting. That's incredible. Because, listen, I'm already trying to figure out, there's several businesses that I work with and interact with, and I'm trying to figure out what would be an easy way for them to accept payment in P3D or to accept payment in dollars, and they actually get their dollars converted into P3D. And then they could redistribute dividends to their customers over time. Like, I wish someone needs to create an easy way to do that. That probably could be done with some sort of a smart contract, but that kind of stuff is incredible. And this right here, it looks like that's exactly what a version of that is what they're doing already. This is the earliest form of using the P3D not in a gaming function, but in a utility function. That's the key, a use case function where I might want to interact with this message board, and I actually don't care about the P3D ecosystem, but just using the message board, I end up getting dividends. That's fascinating. Okay. Wow. What will Phase 1 be? Phase 1 will be the launch of the ICO as well as reveal of the roadmap and unabridged white paper. Why do you need an ICO? We want to accelerate the development of 0xChan, so we need to make this our full-time job. To do that, we need income. That's what the ICO does, support us in getting development done ASAP. Okay, I understand this. I don't necessarily love it. I may or may not participate in the ICO, and if I do, it's just to kind of take a flyer on it and to support the project and to support the developers. Essentially, the developers are going to be using this to cover development costs and or salaries, hence replace full-time jobs. However, most people, I have a problem with people getting paid a full lump sum over the life of the project. Where does ongoing development costs come from? That's what I'm curious about. Ongoing salaries come from. Does the ICO require know your customer? No. This concerns me, obviously. I know how laws work, and this could potentially become an issue in the long run for the project. Are certain countries not allowed to participate in ICO? Everyone can be allowed to participate because they're not following know your customers. Is this related to the 0x token? No, Ethereum addresses start with 0x, hence the name. What is the 0chan? The ZCH or ZChan is the token used with 0xChan to pay for posts, but also add to your overall staking rewards. But I don't think you're required to use, unless I misunderstood something, I don't think you're actually required to have to use a 0chan post. Is there a maximum number you're allowed to stake? There's a maximum of 2 ETH that you can stake directly. More ETH deposited will be transformed into the 0chan token. So by depositing more ETH, you automatically purchase 0chan tokens. Interesting. I wonder if this is necessary outside of just paying for just supporting the ICO and the developers. Will the posting fees be adjusted as the price of ETH changes? The short answer to that is yes, they want to keep it cheap. As a moderator, are you limited to how often or when you can vote? they're going to cover that. They said in the full unabridged white paper dropping soon. So on the website right now, they just have it's kind of a short white paper. And you can go look at that if you would like. This is incredible. Again, the website is 0xchan.net. I overall love this project. I want to see what happens. You know, I got some issues with ICO, and part of the issue is, you know, I don't know how much of the ICO is necessary. I don't have a problem with the ICO. I have a problem with them potentially running into issues with laws down the road, and security, you know, the SEC calling things securities, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. But I love this project. I love what they're doing. This is good stuff right here. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we've been needing to see in the P3D ecosystem. So hats off to the community and to the developers for supporting this. Those of you who use it, good job. I'm going to continue to follow this project for sure. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video, and I would love to hear your comments down below. And please feel free to clarify anything that I may have messed up or I may not understand. I would definitely look forward to reading that. Keep in mind, I always reserve the right to be wrong 100% of the time about 100% of everything. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.